why Jungkook's Arirang moves even people who don't speak Korean. When people talk about Jungkook, they usually mention his vocal technique, his versatility, or his stage presence. But one performance continues to stand apart from the rest. It wasn't a chart-topping pop song or a stadium anthem. It was Arirang, a Korean folk song that has existed for centuries. Yet after Jungkook performed it, countless international listeners who didn't understand a single word described the same reaction: chills, tears, and an emotion they couldn't fully explain. So what made this performance resonate so deeply across cultures? To understand that reaction, we first need to understand what Arirang represents. Often described as Korea's unofficial national song, Arirang has been passed down through generations in hundreds of regional variations. Its melody carries themes of separation, longing, resilience, and hope, emotions that transcend language. In 2012, UNESCO added Arirang to its representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity, recognizing it not simply as music, but as a living expression of Korean identity shared across generations. Traditional folk songs rarely become viral moments in modern pop culture, especially outside their country of origin. Yet clips of Jungkook singing Arirang spread rapidly across social media platforms, accumulating millions of views and generating thousands of comments from listeners around the world. What stood out wasn't only admiration from ARMY. Many people unfamiliar with Korean culture admitted they had searched for the meaning of Arirang only after hearing Jungkook perform it. In other words, the performance sparked curiosity before it sparked understanding. One reason may lie in the way Jungkook approaches emotional delivery. Throughout his career, vocal coaches have frequently pointed out that his greatest strength is not simply range or stability, but his ability to communicate emotion without exaggeration. Rather than overpowering a song with dramatic vocal effects, he often allows the melody to breathe naturally. That restrained style became especially effective in Arirang, where sincerity matters far more than vocal acrobatics. Listeners weren't responding only to beautiful notes, they were responding to believable emotion. International fan reactions reveal an interesting pattern. Across YouTube, TikTok, and other platforms, comments repeatedly appeared saying, "I don't speak Korean, but I cried," or "I felt every word without understanding the lyrics." While emotional responses are subjective, the consistency of these reactions is difficult to ignore. When thousands of people from different countries describe remarkably similar feelings, it suggests that the performance communicated something beyond language itself. That is one of music's rarest qualities. Psychologists have long suggested that human beings recognize emotional intention through vocal expression, even before understanding words. Elements such as tone, phrasing, breath control, and dynamic contrast help listeners interpret sincerity across languages. Jungkook's performance reflects many of those characteristics. His voice remains soft, where the lyrics express longing, gradually expanding in intensity without losing warmth. Instead of competing with the song's history, he allows the melody itself to remain at the center, making the emotion feel authentic rather than theatrical. Perhaps that explains why so many Korean listeners praise the performance as respectful rather than simply impressive. Performing a beloved folk song always carries risk. Too much modern interpretation can erase its traditional character, while excessive imitation can make it feel lifeless. Jungkook found a delicate balance between those two extremes. He introduced Arirang to a younger global audience without stripping away the emotional weight that has allowed the song to survive for generations. That balance may be the real reason this performance continues to resonate long after the final note. Jungkook's ability to create that balance did not appear overnight. Since BTS's debut, fellow members have often described him as someone who constantly refines every aspect of his performance. Performance director Sun Sung-duk once called him a genius who also works hard, recalling how Jungkook frequently stayed behind after rehearsals to practice. That reputation helps explain why, when a performance depends on subtle emotion rather than spectacle, audiences often trust what they hear. Behind every seemingly effortless moment are thousands of hours of deliberate preparation. Interestingly, Arirang is not the only song that has drawn this kind of response. Whether performing emotional ballads like Hate You, comforting songs such as Still With You, or intimate live moments during concerts, Jungkook often receives similar comments from listeners describing a sense of calm, nostalgia, or healing. The songs themselves are different, but the reactions share a common thread. Fans rarely focus only on vocal difficulty. Instead, they talk about how his voice makes them feel, suggesting that emotional connection has become one of his defining artistic strengths. That ability also reflects an important principle of live performance. Great singers deliver accurate notes, but memorable singers create emotional experiences. Technical precision certainly matters, yet audiences often remember how a performance made them feel long after they forget individual vocal runs. Jungkook's rendition of Arirang demonstrates that distinction. Rather than drawing attention to vocal power, he allows the song's quiet emotional weight to unfold naturally. inviting listeners to experience it instead of simply admire it. The performance also introduced many international fans to a part of Korean culture they might never have explored otherwise. Across online discussions, countless viewers shared that hearing Jungkook sing Arirang inspired them to search for the lyrics, learn the song's history, or discover why it holds such deep meaning in Korea. While one performance cannot define a culture, it can spark genuine curiosity. In that sense, Jungkook's rendition became more than entertainment. It became a bridge between audiences separated by language, geography, and tradition. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the performance is that it achieved this without changing the song's identity. Modern reinterpretations of traditional music often rely on dramatic rearrangements or contemporary production. Jungkook chose a different path. His performance remained centered on the melody itself, allowing the emotional character of Arirang to speak first. That artistic restraint may be why so many listeners describe the performance as timeless rather than trendy. Sometimes, the most powerful interpretation is the one that knows exactly what not to change. Looking at the broader picture, Arirang reflects something audiences have recognized throughout Jungkook's career, whether singing a global pop hit, an intimate acoustic ballad, or a centuries-old folk song. He approaches each performance with the same commitment to authenticity. His vocal technique gives him the ability to perform almost any genre, but technique alone cannot explain why listeners continue to respond so emotionally. What they remember is not only the sound of his voice, but the sincerity carried within it. So why did Jungkook's Arirang move so many people who couldn't understand the lyrics? The answer may not lie in language at all. It lies in the rare ability to communicate emotion with honesty, discipline, and respect for the music itself. Arirang had already survived for generations before Jungkook sang it, but through his performance, millions of new listeners discovered its beauty for the first time. Great singers perform songs. Exceptional artists help those songs find new hearts. And that may be exactly what Jungkook accomplished with the song Arirang.